Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Obstacle Racing Media video channel. I'm about to play you an interview I did with Courtney and Margaux, who both appeared in the finals of the Titan Games. I did about an hour podcast, which you can check out at the links below or in your favorite podcast player. Here's a 20-minute version for you audio and visual learners. I want to remind you quickly that you can support us on Patreon. That's right. The Patreon is a way for you to contribute to me and ORM and a way to keep the lights on and help keep things going. We got exclusive content there for you as well, so go check that out. Let's not dilly-dally. Courtney and Margaux. Away we go.
So yeah, you see like the top right there, if you pause it.
Yeah.
So you have to take the top two off first. Like you take the wheels off, then you take the plates off. However you do it, right? Just get it done. Once the top's off, then you can go to the bottom one. But essentially the strategy is left up to the competitor. And that, in a way, it's obviously we wanted to watch everyone. So
But you just said you couldn't do the other ones first.
Then, yeah, you have to take the top layer off first. So see that one that's highlighted blue?
Yeah.
That's a top. So essentially you take that top one off, then the other one's off. Once the top two layers are off, then you can move down to the bottom ones.
Right.
So
and
like
they didn't say that on the television, so people thought you were doing it wrong.
I have to go back and listen to it. I don't know if they said it or not. I'm pretty sure they said it at one point because they say you have to take the top layers off, then the bottom ones.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that was communicated at some point. That was communicated to us as the competitors.
Right.
But then the strategy is like, how much weight do you take off? How heavy does it feel? And like, do you feel like you can lift it and pull it and lock it before it goes back down? So again, everyone's a little bit different on how they decide to do it.
All right,
but,
let's do a little live. What do you call it here, Margaux? Why don't you walk us through it, since this is actually you versus Kelly Stone. All right, so you're on. So all right, talk us through this, Margaux.
So like you see, like we're taking the wheels off, right? You had to spin them off. Then you have to pull the weights off. So the thing is that like the poles, I believe they were painted or spray painted, how it was. So they were kind of sticky. So I get up onto the top of the bottom, like I want to say iron that sticks out.
Right.
Pole. And so then I was using the bottom to like use my body weight to like throw the weight off or get it off because they were kind of sticky. You couldn't just like slide them off.
Yeah. Right.
Then from there, again, like once the top's off, then you can move on to the next one. You could do like one on one side and then move to the other side, but that's a lot of back and forth going from one event or one pole to the next. So for my strategy, I was like, all right, I'm going to take off the wheel and all the plates on one side, then I'll work on the other side. And then from there, I'll work on the bottom. So again, I just stood on top of it because I was like, I can pull it from the bottom, but I had more leverage if I could actually get on top and kind of pull from the side.
Right. So you're pretty much tied here. You both got the top off at the same time.
Yeah. So then here it was like, again, take the wheels off. And so for me, I went wheel, and then I went from the plates because I was like, all right, once I get the wheels off and once I get a good grip on the plates, then I could just like push or pull the plates off.
Yeah.
Makes sense? Yeah.
Yes.
So the wheels came off, then the plates came off. And then right here, like they were moving pretty quickly. I was able to get them off pretty fast. I went for the last wheel to like at least get that off. So it's again, that weighs a little bit of weight. And so I saw Kelly like head on over. I was like, man, I have to go. Like whatever my plan of strategy was that I had in my mind, I have to go because I don't know what it's going to feel like. I don't know what the pulling that play. I don't know. Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, how heavy is it?
So do they weigh the same here? You guys both have 3 weights left.
No,
she left one extra weight on.
Yeah. I took the wheel off.
She did it. Yeah.
So she had the plates plus the wheel. I had the plates. I took the wheel off.
So then and yours comes out. You just outpull her at this point. How much does that wheel weigh, we think?
I don't even know. I don't think it's more than the plates, but it definitely adds some weight. So it came down to here, obviously like grabbing the rope and pulling yourself. But the problem is the rope's pretty slick. And so like, it was all about, can you pull?
Oh yeah. She lost right there. So are you thrilled when she goes back, are you like, okay, I need to calm down?
No, you don't. Yeah, you don't know. It's not over till it's over. So like once she went back, I was thinking, because you can still see mine. It's a little bit at an angle. And so my thought process was like, I got to keep pulling. I have to lock it in. And even when it locks in, there's a little bit of a give. So it's hard because like it locks in, but then like it moves. So you're like, well, is it locked in? So I'm sitting there. I kind of pull for a little longer than I need to. But my concern was that like I didn't actually lock it in. Then I had to go back. So then once it was locked in, I went and pulled the chain.
So how fun is it to watch yourself with super slow-mo and music?
My hands still get sweaty, even though I already know what happens. I think it's just like the competitor in me where like you review your work, you see what you do, you see what worked, what didn't work, like how can I perform better, even though this is already done for and I've already completed it. My palms still get sweaty, and I think in my mind like, oh, maybe if I do this next time, or if I have to come across something like this in the future, how would I execute it better or differently?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think to be fair, we should show Courtney on something here. Courtney, do you know
Oh
what?
God.
Would you
Yes.
know what we've got of you in here? We probably got a ton of stuff, right?
You have Lunar Impact, some Mount Olympus probably. But yeah, there's all the Mount Olympus and the Lunar Impact. So
Right. How
Yeah.
about?
because I ran the same ones as Margaux, so she did nuts and bolts and Lunar Impact, so I did nuts and bolts and Lunar Impact.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah,
about what if we just go to the big one here? This big one.
the finale one. Oh
Yeah.
my God, the hammer down.
All right. So we want to talk about this one?
Yeah. So the
So
hammer
let's just
down.
so first of all, so this is the finals, right?
Yeah.
This is the last
Yes.
day, right?
Yes.
So how much had you already done this day? Like filming wise, competitions wise, like how tired are you at this point of the day?
Day, so it wasn't too bad. Like I still had energy going. I mean, TV's just long in general. Found out that
Yeah.
very quickly, very very quickly.
Yes.
So even like
I can't
before
remember what
events.
day we did this.
What'd you say, Margaux?
I can't. I think it was the final day, but like they all mixed together. So I'm like, I know. I want to
Yeah.
say it was later in the day. We had done filming. I feel like we did something before that, but I can't. I honestly
Yeah,
can't remember.
because I want to say you did Mount Olympus last, but that was like at 8 o'clock at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it was like super
So
late.
like each obstacle, no joke, has like 3 to 4 hours in between. This was the first one. It had to be
Well,
like
this is so from anybody who's worked in television, whether it's reality or movies or whatever, it's a lot of hurry up and wait, as they say, right? So
yes.
they're getting lighting fixed, they're getting things fixed, blah 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 blah. Now you add in TV audience, they got to get them ready. Sometimes they get them to record some stuff ahead of time, and they do all that stuff. And in this case, you got to get The Rock. And most of the time, the talent is in the, if it's Matt and Akbar, they're going to be in their trailer, and when it's time, they're going to come out. They've got their makeup and everything else. In this case, this is what they told me. The Rock was filming another movie at the same time, because that's what Rock does. He makes like 2 movies and a TV show at once, and so they'd have to like wait for him to be done on the other movie set. So you guys would just be waiting forever, correct?
I wouldn't say it was waiting forever, but I think
Yeah.
it was time. It was a timing thing. Like, all right, what is he doing over there? And then for us, having us prepped. And so again, there was obviously the hurry up and wait, but I think trying to segment with everything that was going on, like squeeze. Because I remember one time, I think we were all in the court, like the locker room doing some filming, and like they wanted to get some extra shots of everyone. And to do that, they're like, well, let's squeeze in a little bit more because we're waiting a little longer. So they're trying to put more and more in there. But then it was like, no, we got to go because everyone's going to be ready on set. Everything's good to go. So it was a lot of like changing things around. And like last minute was like, hey, we're going to film some B-roll beforehand. No, we're going to switch that. We're going to do it after. So I think they did a great job again with all the place. Again, this is like full.
There's so many moving parts. It's like wild.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job of like making it all happen. And again, like it's not going to be, you can't really compare it to anything else unless you've done movies or TV before. And again, like I haven't had much experience of that, so I can't speak to tons of that. But what we did, I was like, I think it flowed for the most part relatively well. There were times where we were waiting, but it's like, that's the game, like that's what we have to do. Like we're here, like I signed up for this, so I would never like bitch complain about it,
Right.
Like
So,
I'm here, I got this opportunity to be here with these other amazing people, and like I got selected. I was like, let's do what we got to do. Let's buck up and do it,
And also, like, they explained to us that since the first season was in LA, and when they moved it to Atlanta, even though there was like some of the same obstacles, it's like restarting a season all over again.
right.
It's like starting it from scratch because they're in a different arena. They have to take apart the obstacles and ship them. So even putting the obstacles together and making sure that they work, because they had an American Ninja Warrior team that would come out and run the obstacles to make sure everything flowed okay. They said it was like a season 1. They were trying everything out all over again. And they said if it was like season 4, it would have ran a lot more like whatever, but because of what they did. But again, there were so many moving parts looking back on it. I was like mind blown by it.
So let's look at this thing. So on a scale of 1 to 10, where are nerves for, okay, here we are, final round of Hammer Down?
Me, I'm like on a high. I'm like on a 10 of nerves. Number one, I'm going against these two, Margaux and Danny, who are amazing, like athletes and people in general. I mean, we were all friends on the set. Um, but I also knew that going into it, I was like, my goal is to be an East Region champion, and I made it there. So I was just like, let's go out and have fun. But yeah, of course I was nervous. I'm also a competitor. You have like those butterflies, like good butterflies, to like get you out there.
Right.
So I was going all in.
Yeah. I before any competition, doesn't matter what it is, even if it's like a local comp, I
Yeah,
still get nervous. And I think it's just that you visualize things in your mind and you see how you want things to happen. And then obviously trying to execute them as much as you can. Like you don't have full control of that. You don't have control of the other individuals and competitors. But in my mindset,
right.
it's like, all right, those nerves. So now you're trying to like calm the nerves and kind of funnel them as adrenaline.
Right.
Yeah,
All right. So
yeah.
let's look at can we just look at what a beast Danny is here? I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, she had her and Margaux had a great grip on the hammer, just like nailing it and using their entire body to it. So, but then when all three poles went down, you had to go climb up the pole. But what was it, Margaux? You couldn't use your feet?
I think, yeah, you couldn't use your feet, like the soles of your feet. So like there's two ways to do it. People either like rolled themselves underneath it. So kind of like a koala, crawling up like a tree. So you're kind of underneath it. You're using your hands, your feet could be locked together, but you couldn't like use the soles of your feet to like push you up. And so the other option was to be on top of it and like crawl up there. So it was like depending on how you figured that was best the way to do it.
But even this, the average person might just think, oh, I'm just swinging a hammer. But what percentage would you say is like technique versus like hips and body movement, like to make this thing effective?
To me, it's technique and power all combined.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you think of like the quarter extremity principle, like you want to use your legs, your body, but it's not like you're traditionally swinging a hammer like from top to bottom. Like I've done tons of that, right? But how often do you like swing an axe or like an object or a hammer from the side? I don't often do that, So it changes that direction of where you're throwing, left to right, right to left, whatever. So I would definitely say it's a combination of both, but then also accuracy of like making sure you're hitting the same
dead center.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so let's go.
Yeah.
How much friction can we have from our skin to like the object that we're having to hold on to?
Yeah. Well, I got to say that the other thing that people said was that, Danny wins this and then gets to watch you two do something else. Right. And so then they were like, oh, well, the person that got to rest is going to win. So in real time, how long was that? Do you remember?
It was all within the same day. I want to say the turnaround time was a lot quicker than the previous events. The previous events, we had more time between the competitions we were doing. This was a lot quicker turnaround time. I want to say it was like we were in the same outfits. I think I can't remember.
It was under 2 hours, Margaux, hands down.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was way quicker of a turnaround. When we had all the competitors, the turnaround wasn't as quick. The last day, they were like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, right. And like I was like, I need some sort of food. I was like, I had a baby food jacket, and I was gonna shove this in my mouth and like eat my baby food real quickly. I was like, I need something before I go out there because, again, all that adrenaline drops, and if you don't have enough food that you ate earlier on to fuel that, then it's like you're gonna hit that.
Did you bring baby food? I can't imagine it was there in craft services.
Oh yeah, 100%. I brought baby food. I brought bars. Like they had.
Yeah.
But like I made sure that, and I like the Gatorade blocks, like those. Not the liquid stuff, but like the circles or cubes, whatever you call them. I brought all that stuff just in case, because it's like I know, like I've been in enough competitions where like you may not have time to eat, you may. So it's like I would just jam those in my pockets and had them available if I needed them.
Did they let you go on a shopping run or two because you were there so long?
Oh yeah, we had some time where like we can go to the like Walmart or the grocery store, run errands, whatever we needed to. Obviously you plan it around the time that you're not filming or you're not on set.
Yeah, the day you're on set, you're only allowed to be on set. It's not like you can run off set, but they had plenty of food there, and they had, snacks. 3 times a day, they had food for you and snacks all the time for you. I had so many Cliff bars.
My experience, they don't have the healthiest snacks. Even if it's a competition show, they don't seem to know that like you guys don't want to eat all that crap.
I think they had some good options. I think they had like a lot of nuts, a lot of like bars. I want to say
a lot of bars,
a lot of bars, like some fruit and stuff like that. And everyone's different on what they eat. But again, you're thinking competition, like you're going to be needing a lot of carbohydrates to kind of refuel yourself. Obviously, you don't want just carbs. You want some sort of protein and fat as well. But again, everyone knows their body for the most part and how they're going to react to this. For those that have done either some sort of style of training like this or competition. So it's just like having something you know it's going to be best for you.
Exactly.
All right. So here we go. Let's go to Herculean pull. So you guys have done this before, right? Earlier in the show. You've done this one?
No.
Because the last year, this was like a big part of it.
Some of them did. Like Noah and Will did. Me and Margaux did not.
Mm-hmm. Correct. We didn't do this one.
We did not do this because it was a tie break type of event, but me and Margaux didn't have to go to a tie break. So we didn't do this one.
Okay.
Feeling pull like that top one the fastest was the.
So Courtney, when you get to it and you see it already like on its way out, are you like, oh fuck?
Well, yeah, but I was like, I'm not gonna give up. Are you crazy? Like, you don't know anybody's capacity. I mean, if you saw Noah and his brother and that comeback, I mean, he was basically on like the last little nub of the pole, and Noah came back and won it. So you don't know what people can hold on to.
Right, but I'm just saying emotionally, was it like, oh, she got to it first? Like,
yeah, of course. I was like, oh shoot.
No, it was and his brother. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. You don't know, like you have no idea.
No idea.
Like the element of not being able to see your competitor, like you have to trust in what you're doing. But then again, like there's still some unknown that you don't really have full awareness of.
Yeah, because Margaux had no idea I fell on the other side. It's not like someone's like, yo, she fell. You know what I mean? So she just has to guess that she's not resting and try to pull again. Like it's just all by chance. You know?
Right. So I think, wasn't this show actually going to be on much later, but COVID actually did push it up?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it was supposed to be like next year, right?
Correct.
Yeah. They never actually got to come out, and so they usually come to your hometown. And yeah, I mean, but I told them, I said, as long as you get the best of what I represent, of like just having fun and having the biggest smile on my face, because that's exactly who I am, it's all worth it. Like, it's all worth it. People in my town didn't even know you won a prize, and I was actually kind of happy they didn't display like, oh my god, you won $100,000. Like, they didn't even say it throughout the show. So I thought that was really cool because they just displayed all the athletes. People really didn't know that either. There was a prize.
I didn't know that either.
See, and I think that's pretty cool. Like, they just wanted you to be the athlete you were and the human being you were and compete against each other, and it came out very, very well.
Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate it. As I said, go check out the podcast where you can see the full hour-long interview with these two women, and also check out all of our podcasts. We've got a bunch. Check out the Patreon. I always get it wrong the first time. Check out the Patreon. Support this channel. Love you, miss you, mean it. I gotta run.